Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to our channel. Hey, Obodo fam. Good evening. Happy weekend. Atrowe saluto. Anybody home? Anybody home? Hi everyone. Hi. Welcome back. Welcome back to our channel. How's everyone doing today? I hope we are well. Junior, you gave him a name. You say he's Mongo Park Icon. That made me laugh yesterday. I'm glad you are here today. How is everybody doing? Thank God it's Friday. Welcome. I hope you are good. Yeah, we're just going to be straight in, straight out as we did yesterday. I was so happy yesterday that we just, were able to wrap it up very quickly. I think, some stories we just need to just get in and get out and take the lessons and move on. It's about learning and unlearning, right? Yeah. Do we have any Kenyans in the house? Somebody said that I wasn't mentioning the name well yesterday. So before I offend anybody, I'd like someone to teach me how to pronounce the name. Do we have any Kenyans here? Anyone from East Africa that knows how to pronounce that name? Ngugi. I think I can get the first name right. Ngugi. I think I'm getting that right. I think it's the other one that is a bit complex. It's a bit complicated. Yes, you can call into the chat, Natasha. Yeah, you can call. I have a link. If you want to say something, you can use it and jump in. We don't have a phone number we use for telephone or for calls here. But if you see where it says Obodo Oyibo TV in the comment section, that's the link. It's like it's a StreamYard, is like a Zoom, something like that. You can just join without calling, so you don't need to. You just need a connection. Yeah. So give us a thumbs up, guys. Sorry, just trying to open this window. Get some air in. Give us a thumbs up as you are joining. Please welcome. I appreciate you guys. Please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. We are talking about a literary icon who Junior has now labeled as a Mongo Park icon. That's the person we're talking about today. His name is Ngugi wa Thiong'o. That's the best I can pronounce. Sorry if I'm not getting it right. He's a Kenyan and he's an author that a few days ago, the son was the one that was basically exposing the dad. And I think when I read about it, I don't think he was doing it in any way to embarrass his father. But I think the reason why he did it was, remember, this is not a young man himself. So the name of the son that made this is a tweet. His name is Mukoma wa Ngugi, right? He's 53 years old, so he's not a kid, all right? He is also an author and a poet. He's Kenyan American, right? That's the picture there, and that's the old man there. That's the father. So when I was looking into it, I think the reason why he decided to make that post, because when children grow up in families where there is any kind of domestic violence, it does impact on their well-being. And in Africa, where we come from, I'm sure Kenya is not different. These things are usually kept under wraps. Nobody wants you to talk about it. Please don't say anything. It's all about image for us. It's all about your public image. What will people say? We care a lot about what people say. Never mind what damage is done to, the immediate family or the children. Nobody cares, or the wife or any member of the family, right? So when I was looking into it, I think the reason why this man called Makoma decided to finally speak publicly about this is because he said that his mother, who was the first wife of the great writer, was completely like, it was like she doesn't exist. She was systematically, left out of the picture of his life. So I can imagine struggling with this thing all these years, knowing. Now, the parents were married for how many years? When I looked into it, how many years was he married to her? Let me quickly confirm that. Guys, welcome. Please give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, and please give us a thumbs up. So, the name of the first wife is called Nyambura, right? And I'm checking if he has a PhD. Okay, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. So the mother is no longer here. She passed away in 1995. Okay, welcome everybody. She passed away in 1995. Okay. And she said the son now, he's saying that it's like she never existed. Like there's no mention of her anywhere when the story of his father is being told. So I'm thinking, perhaps this is why he decided to talk about it, because his father married another wife, right? Okay, so let me first of all read. Let's take it one step at a time, because it seems like I'm getting molded up with this thing now. Let's read the tweet first of all. He tweeted this, right? So let's read the tweet. This is the tweet. Tweet is on Instagram, and I think I have it open somewhere. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so this is the tweet that started this whole palaver, right? What did he say in that tweet? Makoma tweeted, "My father," and he tagged him. Wow, this is this is literally calling somebody out with your full chest. Wow. It must have taken a lot of bravery to do this, because he knows that because the father is a famous person, even though he's very old, that is going to go viral. People will talk about it, right? And you see what I put there? I said, this is part of the stories. Like, the story is a narrative of a man whose personal life seems at odds with his public crusade for equity and human rights. So this man comes across as somebody that is, he's an activist for equal rights and equality, human rights in his country, Kenya. He even went to prison, whereby the Kenyan government put him in prison for a year without trial before he fled Kenya to go to America. Okay, he's now in America. He lives in America now. So you can imagine somebody who is like this. People respect him. He's well respected both in Kenya, in Africa, and in the international community as a literary giant and author and all that. He won so many awards. Yeah. Thank you very much, Latu, for that super charge. You said, "I can imagine how he carried his health all through the years. I pray for healing." It's not always easy for children. You know what they say? When two elephants fight, it is always the grass that will suffer. The children are the grass in any relationship that is not healthy. Children always suffer. Okay? So this is what he said. He said, okay. He said, my father called him out. My father, Ngugi Watiogo, physically abused my late mother. He would beat her up. Some of my earliest memories are me going to visit her at my grandmother's, where she would seek refuge. But with that said, it is the silencing, and he actually mentioned it. It's the silencing of who she was that gets me. Okay, I've said it. That was just it. He actually wrote a book, and the title of the book is The Novelist's Lonely Wife. You can see. Can you see that? The Novelist's Lonely Wife. Is how people outside can, see, sometimes they see your parents and they see them as this, big people, respected people in society. Everybody honors them, but you that live in that house, you know them better. You know that, you know who they truly are at home. A lot of people have, like, they wear a facade when they go out. Yeah. Vivi, are you Kenya? I didn't even know that you are Kenya. Oh, okay, you're my member. God bless you, my darling. I'm Kenya, and I know that Divi is rampant here too. Yeah, Divi is rampant all over Africa, to be honest. It is. So you know how they'll respect this person outside. They will say he's a giant of Africa, he's Pan-African, he's very, he's an activist, he's a freedom fighter, is this, is that. But the people that live with that person are the people that can actually tell you, nah. Koribel. Because we like to pretend and we show ourselves out in the world as this holier than thou. People are very, very pretentious. When they are outside, they behave as if, they are angels. But come and see them inside the house. So you never truly know people by just, when you just have very limited, contact with them. You never really know. Okay, this story is deep. I'm going to read some part of it before. There's something else I want to bring out here, but there's a lot here to share. Let me take this from Pulse Nigeria first, because they all covered it. All the newspaper covered it. So this one from Pulse says, Ngugi Watiogo's son lifts lead on dark side of father forced marriage. He's 86 years old. Ngugi is 86 and faced significant challenges in his marital life, which has often been overshadowed by his literary legacy. Okay, so that's his son, who is also an author. His name is Mukoma. Let me read this. In an evocative disclosure that shed light on the complex personal life of one of Kenya's literary icons, Professor Makoma Ngugi, son of the revered author Ngugi Watiogo, brings to the fore harrowing accounts of domestic abuse within the family. Yeah. In this social media post, Makoma Ngugi opened up about the turbulent relationship between his father and his late mother. Her name is Nyambura Ngugi Watiogo. He named the son, which is Mukoma, and named the daughter after the mother. So he now offering a rare glimpse into the private struggles behind this man, his father, who is a public person of internationally acclaimed, repute, writer. He's well known. Yeah, he's known across the world. So according to the son, Mukoma, Ngugi was physically abusive to his late mother, something that is hardly spoken about by his father. My father, Ngugi Watiogo, physically abused my late mother. He would beat her up. Some of my earliest memories are of me going to visit my grandmother, where she would seek refuge. That's the tweet, right? And with that, but with that said, it is the silencing of who she was that gets me. Mukoma shares, revealing a deeply personal pain that has lingered through the years. This man is 53 years old. Guys, are you getting it? So this is to tell you that he has lived with this for 53 whole years. I'm sure he's a father as well. He's not a kid. Hey, my people. You know, when we talk about abuse on this platform, I often tell you guys that abuse, if we are not careful, it can be generational, whereby people will learn it and they will pass it on like the way other people pass down inheritance to their children. If you are not very intentional about learning some of the things that you saw while growing up, you are more likely to repeat that cycle of abuse. This man said at 53 that he grew up thinking it was normal, like the way his father was beating his mother, that he thought it was normal. My goodness. Let me carry on reading. So this is him, and that's the father now, who is an octogenarian, and his sister. Yeah. I think he has 5 children with the first wife. So the mother, Iyambura, passed away in 1996. She remains a relatively enigmatic figure, which most of her life story overshadowed by her famous husband. Together, they have 6 children. Okay, so they have 6 children, including Professor Makoma, who is also an author. So the son is also a professor, and is a professor. The father is not a professor; he is a professor and an author. I think he's a lecturer. Now, that is not the end of the man's problems. He said, further complicating the family saga, Ngugi's second marriage to Njiri, a relationship kindled during his exile in the United States, ended in divorce under circumstances that remain largely under wraps. So he had a second wife. My people, this is the picture of his second wife. Let me show you, because I was struggling to find a picture of his first wife. I couldn't find a picture. The only thing I could see was this old picture that the Sun published with that tweet. There was no picture of her that I could find online. Or if you Google him, the only picture of his wife you can see is with this is his second wife, not his first wife. And he's also divorced from this man now, from this second marriage now. Okay. So the circumstances leading to the divorce is not, we're not told, but I kid you not, once a Mongo Park, always a Mongo Park, especially people from his generation. Okay, he probably doesn't see it as anything wrong. Maybe that's how his father was, so that's who he is. So in that generation, it was something that is almost they normalized it. So if this man, his son, is saying, my mother experienced this, I'm telling you, most likely the second wife experienced it as well. Are we surprised that he's divorced again? So he lost his first wife, and then the second wife divorced him. He is in his 80s now, and I don't think he has anybody with him. So Ngugi met his second wife in 1989 at Grand Central Station in New York. 11 years after he fled into exile, after the government had jailed him for a year without trial, because it was cracking down on political messaging in art. Okay, you know, Africa oppressive government now. Kenya is not different. They are all like that, all African leaders, bunch of them. It was that period that Professor Ngugi created works of art that include the famous play, I can't name it. It's Kukuyu for I Will Marry When I Want, which he co-wrote with Ngugi Wanmira, another writer. The second wife, who is called Njeri, is a therapist and was in the news in Kenya in 2004 when she was, she got into trouble with, she was attacked alongside Professor Ngugi, and was, something happened to her. Grape happened to her. Wow, I can imagine. That's terrible. Oh my days. So the marriage was dissolved, once perceived as a very harmonious marriage. Amongst dimensions of the narrative of the man whose personal life seems to be at odds with his public profile. Public profile did not match private profile. He was loved and respected worldwide, but he was a wife beater at home. So that is one aspect of the story, right? Now, let me come to the other aspect of the story. Keep in mind that the man that is revealing this now about his father is 53 years old. And this is what he said. He said that it hurts to see my late mother, Nyambura, my daughter is named after her, being systematically erased from Ngugi Watiogo's story. We literally, of course, and figuratively would not be here if it was not for her keeping us glued together through the political persecutions. So that was another tweet that he shared in 2022, where he showed a picture of his mother. Let me share that. And he was talking about how, usually when a young man marries, you marry the woman, building a life together, and she was there with you through thick and thin, especially for someone of his status who had a lot of political, troubles with the government, flying to exile and all that. But guess what? It's like the woman never existed. I think that's where the pain was coming from. Apart from having to endure that, because imagine somebody who's 53 years old now telling you that I thought this was normal. Growing up, this is what I saw my father do, and I thought it was normal. So in 2022, he tweeted and said, it hurts to see my late mother, Nyambura. My daughter is named after her, being systematically erased from Ngugi Watiogo's story. We literally, of course, and figuratively would not be here if not for her keeping us glued together through the political persecutions. And that's the woman. Ngugi is renowned as one of Kenya's most famous writers. They were married in 1987, and they went on to have 6 children. Apart from one of the child called Kinmuya, an economics graduate from the University of Nairobi, the rest of the children attended universities in America, including the one that is talking now. So he was in exile for a long time. And the wife passed away. The mother of Mukoma passed away in 1995. But the father couldn't attend the funeral because he was still in exile in the US. Then he married Njeri, who also had a daughter from a previous relationship with an African-American partner. The couple went on to have 2 children before separating last year. This man is 86 years old, so it means that the wife left him when he was 85. This is another, the story we did about Folonsho Alakija. It's something similar. Divorce in their twilight years. Okay, so this wife is not as, is younger. Is not as old as the man. I think she's much younger than him. But still, 85 years. A woman leaving you at 85 years. Wow. After all that tribulations they went through together, after everything, she left him at 85. Oh my God. And look at them. When you see them in public, usually, people everybody will do that. Will put up a front. When you come out, you smile for the cameras to make it seem as if everything is fine, everything is happy. Now, this is the shocker of it. Ngugi is 86 years old now and is currently suffering from kidney failure and living alone under the care of medical personnel at his house in California, the US. He undergoes kidney dialysis 3 times a week and he recently had surgery. Can you believe that? At 86, he's got health issues now. He has kidney failure. He's having chemo. He's undergoing dialysis 3 times a week and recently had a surgery. And he's alone. His wife left him last year. His second wife. My goodness. Is this not all the things that we're always shouting about here about the farm? When we are talking, people will be saying, you people talk too much. You people, you are meandrist. You don't like men. We don't. Nobody has any problem with any man anywhere. We are talking about healthy relationship. Why we should not encourage abuse, because we have the courage to call it out for what it is. My goodness. This is what we talk about every day. Imagine the time that you should be enjoying your children, your twilight years, when you should be enjoying your family, your grandchildren around you, your wife looking after you. The man is all alone with health issues. Okay, so there's something else I want to share. Give us a thumbs up, guys, if you are just joining the chat. So when Mukoma tweeted this, of course, everybody was like, wow, 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 wow. People were shocked. People who didn't know were shocked. He said, I thought it was normal. And guess what, my people? Somebody else came out and said something similar. This one, it shocked me. But I'm not too surprised. Again, these things happen. Like I said, people have a public outlook and public profile, and they look all okay in the public. They are fighting for their country. They are fighting for their community. Yeah. Natasha, it's not a number. It's just a link. It's in the comment section. It's not a number. The link is in the comment section. Now you can join if you want to. Okay. I think you have something to say. That's why you are asking me, right? Okay, that's good. Give us a thumbs up, first of all. Guys, guess what? When Mukoma tweeted this thing and the thing was blowing up, a lot of people were retweeting it. People were making comments. Oh my God, this man that we read his books, we respected him. Double. No, but we didn't. You don't usually know more. That's why I keep telling you that people will show you the part of their life they want you to see. You don't know much about these people. You don't know much about anybody's personal life except you live with them or you are in their circle. So, guess what somebody else tweeted? Somebody called, I don't know who this person is. Maybe people from South Africa or that region will know who he is. His name is Zakis. Zakis is called. Said, he retweeted it and said, I am greatly moved by your tweet, son. I call you that. You are 2 years younger than my oldest son. So this is an elderly man. If his youngest son is 55. Yeah. This is the bravest thing any son of Icon can do. He said, I'm greatly moved by your tweet, son. I can call you that. You are 2 years younger than my oldest son. This is the bravest thing any son of an Icon can do. Ignore who you are denouncing. Ignore those who are denouncing you. What is more important is your truth and your healing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Those are words on map. We should put them in a frame and just be looking at them every day. What is important is, the man said, ignore those who are denouncing you. What is more important is your truth and your healing. Many of us need some reckoning with the truth of our past. Accountability, accountability, accountability. My father never physically beat up my mother, to my knowledge, but his words were abusive to her most times. I think this man should be in his 80s as well. And look at what he's saying. His words were abusive to her most times. I never said or did anything about this. Guys, please give us a thumbs up. My goodness. I never said or did anything about it. I thought it was normal. This is how I thought it was normal. This is how real men talk to women. This was the same. This was the same when I saw Nelson Mandela slap his wife, Evelyn, in the kitchen in the presence of us kids. Yes, you heard that right. The man came out with his bold, full chest to say that he saw Nelson Mandela landed his wife, Evelyn, with a slap in the kitchen when they were there as kids. And he said, here too, I thought it was the normal thing that men should do occasionally, discipline their wives. He put it there in quotes. You see, it's all about learning. These children are growing up and learning things. So you see this man now, an elderly man saying, I thought it was normal. I thought this is the way a real man behaves. I thought this is the way you discipline your woman, their woman. And then he went on to say, it was only on looking back as a young adult that I realized that what I saw growing up had left me traumatized. It was only after I have written about this incident in my memoirs that I felt relief. So all of you that are still bottling things up, you don't want people to hear. You won't go to therapy. You won't talk to anybody. Take it from an elderly man now telling you, pay, until you release that. Part of your healing process is being able to expose that thing, being able to talk about it without fear, being able to speak, as long as you know you're not telling lies, that you are speaking truth as you occurred, as you observed it, as you know it. My goodness. He said that he never knew, but he was traumatized. So this is to tell you that a lot of young men and young women are growing up in trauma and they don't even know. Are we surprised? Look at all the kind of videos that are trending on social media now, the kind of videos that people make, the kind of comment that people make, both men and women making videos, always saying negative things about the other gender because of their own experiences. Broken people, thoroughly broken people who don't know any better. He said, I came face to face with my humanity once again. Let me read that again. He said, I thought it was normal. It was a normal thing that men would do occasionally to discipline their, in quotes, women. It was only on looking back as a young adult that I realized that what I saw growing up had left me traumatized. It was after I had written about this incident in my memoirs that I felt relief, and I came face to face with my humanity once again. Like you, I was denounced by those who have placed themselves as gatekeeper of what is, or okay, let me take that again. He said, like you, I was denounced by those who have placed themselves as gatekeepers of what is or what is not African. Because usually there's a backlash. There's usually a backlash when you come out to say things like this. People will come for you. How dare you? You talk about our hero like this. How dare you? They will call you a liar. They will drag you. But this is what this man is saying. He said, it was after I realized I was traumatized and I talked about it. I was in touch with my humanity again. This was somebody that grew up under Nelson Mandela's mentorship. And then he said, you know what? They will come for you. Those people are going to come for you. Don't think they will not come for you. But you know what? Don't pay any mind to it. Because these people have placed themselves as gatekeepers of what is and what is not African. You know, that's what they used to defend it. We are Africans. It's tradition. It's our culture. All those kind of talk. That's what this uncle is referring to. Wow. And then he ended it by saying they can all go and fry eggs. Let them go and hug Transformer. Oh my God. Somebody please tell me who this man is. I feel like giving his uncle a hug. Oh my God. We talk about accountability all the time. Look at this. Okay, he's a South African novelist. Zekis MDA Nda, 76 years old. A South African novelist. Zakis Nda, 76 years. These are people coming to terms with everything they went through as boys. Is this not, if this is not healing, I don't know what is, my people. If this is not healing. I mean, I saw this picture of the great icon, and I was just looking. Look at the children. They are dead. You're probably doing a book signing event or something, you know, putting up a brave face. You always put up, they are not adults anymore. These are all grown people. They are parents themselves now. But you know what? Except you deal with trauma, it doesn't go away. People literally live with trauma all their lives. And guess what? It has an impact on your life and your relationships, whether you like it or not. You can't run away from it. It does. It will shape, impact, influence, and inform a lot of the decisions you will make in your own life regarding relationship with other people. And if you don't know, you are not self-aware to recognize it and to deal with it, my God. Did you hear? Are you just joining? If you are just joining, maybe you didn't hear what I read about this uncle. So I'm going to just recap and tell you what he's going through now in his life. The man is 86 years old. He's got kidney issues. He's living alone in America because his second wife left him again. And he's going to dialysis 3 times a week. My goodness. So, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Anything that has to do with abuse is always heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. The person that is the perpetrator might feel like they are on top, they are winning, you know, they are scoring points or whatever, they are in control, they are in charge, according to what, you know, that blessed uncle said just now, that, you know, I thought this was normal. This is where you handle your women. But he's also damaging himself. Look at Nat. Look at that now. At this age, in his twilight years, he's all alone. How many of you saw the video that I shared today? This very brilliant young man, I'm going to invite him to my show. I often say that these young Africans are coming up. They are going to have better marriages. I feel it in my bone. Honestly, they will. Our children will have better marriages by the grace of God. All these youngsters, young men, young women, you know, they will have better marriages. Because I listened to this video and somebody was like, is this a Nigerian man? And he's not just a Nigerian man, he's a Yoruba man for that matter. Speaking sense like this, I was like, yeah. By their fruit you shall know them. He's a product of his background. He's a product of his parenting. What are your children seeing? What are your parents seeing? What are your children seeing? As parents, what are you showing your children? It is what they see that will manifest in their life. It's not if you've never seen your father hit your mother, you've never seen your mom insult your father, it is very, very, almost nearly impossible for you to grow up in that environment and you will do it. Where did you learn it from? From where to where now? Where are you going to say you saw it from? No. Children learn by observation, and they observe everything. They take it in, they internalize it, and they will play it out like a script. So let's listen.
Listening to men that are already in trouble or about to go into trouble. The unfortunate thing is some of them might be even your parents or your uncles or your brothers or your friends.
He said, don't listen to men that are in trouble, that are already in trouble. Are you seeing him? Don't listen to anybody that is already in trouble. You know all these videos up and down. Don't bring your wife to the abroad. Now bring your wife, leave your wife in Africa. Those are broken people. They are broken. If you want a healthy marriage, you want a fruitful marriage, don't listen to them. Okay. Oh. So this video was, it was trending today.
And the shortest thing is that you will enter that trouble with them. You see, let me tell you something. Marriage is not a bed of roses. It's not a walk in the park. You have to do the work. And you have to be careful, especially on this. Don't bring your wife abroad. And I've been seeing this trend. People that bring their wife abroad, the wife is leaving them. Their Kinikon is leaving them. Their wife is killing. And we are not having the true picture. We are not discussing the whole thing. And you see young men, jump on the trend to justify this annoying. See, if you are single and you are relocating abroad, the chances that you are going to suffer in that abroad, that you are going to struggle, is almost certain, close to like 70 to 80%, almost certain that the abroad is going to stress you. And we'll explain to you, how are you going to cope with the living expenses to start with? How are you going to cope with the emotional needs of staying abroad? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? But you see, some of these men that maybe they've been here for some years, they marry one woman in Nigeria, they marry another woman here, they've been able to control them, they are not able to control the one in Nigeria, or they are not able to control the one here, they are using Olori to work, and they are advising you people, they are telling you people to break up your family just because you want to keep your order, you want to keep this. And see, don't get me wrong, there are bad women everywhere. There are bad women. So some women that their problem is their own mother or their aunties who are teaching them how to save money separately. Don't tell your husband everything you make. You cannot trust men. Or some women that are coming with natural baggage. You see a woman that respects his father, you to go and marry the person. You don't know that he hates authority. Or all of those things are there. You are not discussing that. But let me tell you something. You see all this abroad is destroying marriage. Drop it. Let's drop it. Let's drop it and do better, because abroad is actually doing better. I dare tell you that if you are a couple abroad, chances that you are going to make it in life is almost 70 to 80%. If you are married abroad, you stand a better chance, a good chance of making it. Because even the government, things that they put in place will not be able to stop you if you work together as a team. Because for starters, most of abroad that I know, house rent is the major thing. So two people can live in one house and pay as one. That is even, you would think it's not much until you know how much you would gain in a year when you are able to save £1,000 every month just because you are living with someone else. Other than that, how are you going to deal with the emotions? Do you know what it means to go outside and face the world and come back home to a cooked meal or to a welcome? How was your day? And when I say cook meal, it doesn't mean that your wife is cooking for you before you come. It means that if you are the one husband at home, you cook for your wife before she comes back, or she cooks for you, or on a weekend, you people sat down on it in front of the TV and watch TV and build life together. But you see, you are listening to men who don't know how to treat a woman because nobody showed them how to do it, and not because some of them are bad, but some of you want to continue this battle. Let me tell you something. Personally, I was telling my father something because my father used to do something when we were growing up that as a man, all of my can try it. I would never try it. When I was growing up, I remember my father had many cars in the house. At some point, he had about 4 cars, but there was no car that was centered to my mom. And I will explain it to you. So it doesn't mean that he's saying that don't touch the car. It doesn't mean that don't say that don't. But every time my dad bought a car, it's still his car. It's daddy's car. Yes, there was a driver that can take the mom, but there's no, I bought this car for you as my wife. Do you get what I'm saying? It took my mom, who was a teacher then. She then had to go and she bought a car herself. She bought a B2. She bought a B2 then. And I thought about it. I said, this thing as a man, imagine you come home one day, even if it's the smallest car, and you say, madam, this is your own car. I bought it in your name for you. It changes the orientation. It changes the mentality. But see, some of our parents that did some of these things, they did not do it out of wickedness, not because
Yeah,
they
but
hate
out of
their
ignorance.
wives or not, but because they don't know any better. They don't know the emotional part of the whole thing. They don't know how to, win people. But some of you want to continue. You want to continue the habit. And some of you, let me tell you, young men, avoid all these men that are in the you used to see them in the UK, they don't have wife after 30 something years, and they're trying to tell you experience.
Our uncles,
We have
our Baba
experience now.
London,
Be going. Because you will see them in
our
comment
Baba
section,
America.
be telling people
They
about
don't have wife. They'll
yeah,
be
that's how they say
advising you
until
how to
women show
marry.
them. Women show you what? Are you telling me? I know people who are in this UK that have been married for 30 years. They've been married for 30 years in this UK. And they are doing well together. They have properties together. They have businesses together. And they are living well. What about their own experience? But you who will leave them, you want to be listening to all these Ori uncles. People that they have wives scattered all over the world. You get? And when they now bring one who, for all of her life, she's been struggling. Maybe they kept her in one place. She's been struggling. They've been maltreating her. She now eventually come to a society that can allow her demand for her true worth.
Do you see
They will
what he
not say
said?
that she doesn't
He
listen,
said a
that she's broken
society
up,
that will allow
she's
her to
turning him
demand
down.
for her true
You
worth.
will join them. You would see, you will not. And see, please avoid these men and learn yourself. Sit down and learn, because some of you need to see. Do you want to do the kind of marriage your parents did?
I had that from well.
Or yes, your parents had a good marriage. Can you improve on that?
Someone to do the
It's
marriage their
something you need to
grandfather
talk
did.
about. Don't go and be looking for experiences. Okay, let's say you know some of these experiences around you. How do you change it? How exactly are you planning to change it and live a better one? Because some of you will discover life when you are in your 60s and 70s and
It's happening
80s.
on Google
That is when you
now.
will discover life that this your I'm a man. I'm a man. You will discover that you are just a jellyfish when you are 70 something or 80 something. That's when you will discover that they will now help you to go and look for one small girl that they will employ, that will be taking care of you. You will now understand the true meaning of suffering. You would have the money. Some of you will have the money, but loneliness will kill you fast. You will have that money that you think is more important, because the devil has deceived some of you. You are thinking money is the most important thing in this life. You are thinking the bag is the more important thing in this life. That's why I was saying recently, like, can we talk about this overshifting thing? You get that every day is work, is work, is work, is work. You are not at home with your family. You are not at home with your wife. You are saying that the family is breaking. How will it not break? How will it not break? Tell me, when that your shift is about 13 hours in a day, you will go early in the morning and come back very late at night. The best you can do is sleep. That's the best you can do. You will now, on top of that, you will now pick some few overnight in between. You pick some nights in between, just so that the back can rise. Alaye, sit down with your family. Sit down with your family. Marriage is building family abroad. Marriage is building economy power for family abroad. If you go and let some of these failed uncles or aunties deceive you, you will have yourself to blame. And unfortunately, you will not discover until you are very old. Because some of them are in their 50s, 40. They don't know that they are in trouble. Until they are very old, that's when they will discover that they are in trouble. If you follow them, you will be in their WhatsApp group. Try it. Anyways, it's abroad. They will put you in a nursing home. You will be there chilling. Authority, or all of those things are there. You are not discussing that. But let me tell you something. You see, all this abroad is destroying marriage. Drop it. Let's drop it. Let's drop it and do better, because abroad is actually doing better. I dare tell you that if you are a couple abroad, chances that you are going to make it in life is almost 70 to 80%. If you are married.
So, I mean, it makes sense, Abi, it no make sense. He enter, Abi, no enter. Has he spoken well or has he not spoken well? This is a young man. His name is Bukumi Preacher. He's on Instagram. Look at the way he's spoken with so much wisdom. The kind of wisdom, the way he spoke. So you can tell by this young man's speech, God will bless you. Women, we need to protect this kind of a man by all means. Now tell me how somebody like this, if he's like this at home, like he treats his wife the way he has spoken to his fellow men and women. He says, stop listening to the people that have failed you. They are the ones that will come on social media. Their voice is the loudest. Bukumi. My goodness. Look at wisdom. Young man with plenty wisdom, so you can tell that this one is intentional about making his marriage work. He said he noticed that something his father did, that the father had cars, like 4 cars, but the mother can use them, but none was assigned to her, like, I bought it for you. It's registered in your name. He said, oh, it's that he cannot do that in his life. If it was some people, they will say, my father did it this way. I keep telling them, I said, the only thing that is constant is change. The things you'll be hearing in their mouth is that, when women come abroad, they change. When they come abroad, they take power. When they come abroad, they do this, they do that. That's not the point. Just treat her well. I'm not saying that women are saints. Of course, they are bad women. But there are bad people everywhere. Look at this uncle now. Ori Olori. We are talking about somebody that is 86 years old. The son is calling him out, a 53-year-old son, calling him out what he did to the mother when they were children. He married another one again. That one still left him and divorced him when he was 85. How do you divorce somebody that is 85 years old? The uncle is in America now. He's there now. He's sick now. At that age, of course, that's when you really need that care. What Bukumi said, is it far from the truth? Is it not? If he cannot continue now to take care of himself, is he not going to end up in a care home? So, a word is enough for the wise. My people, if you know better, you got to do better. I like the thing that Bukumi said. He said, do you want to do marriage like your parents? That's one thing I kept saying. I say, why would you want to do marriage like your parents? No matter how good you think your parents, their marriage was, you can be better. If a book is written, when they want to revise it, they will make it better. They improve it. Look at iPhone. Let's use technology as example. My link is in the comment section, guys. If you want to say something, jump in. Look at iPhone. They will tell you iPhone. Can you compare iPhone 6 to iPhone 15? Let's say your parents' marriage was iPhone 5 or iPhone 4. Have this iPhone 4 in your hand and have iPhone 15 in your hand. Can you compare them in terms of functionality, the camera, everything that it does? This is what life is. You got to be better. You got to improve. You can't say, my father did it like this. My mother did it. No. We take the good from what our parents did. We improve. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the capacity to do that. Once they grow up in an abusive home, the chances are that they are going to be like that if they don't work on themselves to call themselves to order that, no, this is not right. That South African author said, he said, I was traumatized. I didn't know. I thought it was normal. My God. There's a lot of learning and unlearning, healing that needs to happen in our community. Natasha, you are on the show with 2 devices. Which one am I going to add now? Okay. Hello, unmute yourself. Yes, I can hear you with this one. Okay, let me take you out.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your show is very, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Where are you joining us from?
Platform. Well, I'm joining you from the US.
Okay. Welcome.
I have possibly an interesting take on this whole matter, and
right.
Just so that we can all discuss it and see what's happening.
Yeah.
Domestic violence is a no-no. That one is going to be a no-no from now until eternity.
Right.
That's not what we are talking. That's out of the question. Definitely not. Ngugi wa Thiong'o has got. I believe people have. He has a very well, deep, and he has been acknowledged for his work. He's literally. He's got the kind of stuff that ended up on school curriculums in the level of the Chinua Achebes and all this of this world in the literature.
Yeah.
So that's not even in contest, whatever. His son and his family matters are very complex. I feel like, how he chooses to, heal himself, that is something that's between him and his God and the family.
Right.
I am not a proponent of domestic violence in any way, shape, or form. But here's my question. The son, he said, and I'm just taking based on what he said because I do not know him personally. He said his biggest complaint here is that his mother was not recognized on the same stature as his father based on her contribution to the whole persona of the father and what he accomplished and where the family got to.
Right.
I don't think there's anything stopping him from writing up about his mother, what her accomplishments are, put out a book, tell us about what her accomplishment is, because what I am afraid he has just done is labeled her as a domestic violence sufferer and nothing else.
No, that's not correct. He only shared his experience. No, that's not correct. I disagree.
I hope not.
What he said, no, that's not what he did. It's far from it. So what he's saying is that, when his father was facing his persecution from the government back in the day, the mother held the family together. And it feels like her story is lost. And he did write a book. In her name. If you saw that story where it was posted on all the blogs, you'd have seen he tweeted about it as well. A novelist's lonely life, he calls it. Right
now, if he, that would be a great thing.
Hold on, let me finish. I'm just trying to respond to what you say. I'll let you continue, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think he's trying to, label his mom as somebody that was only a victim, but he's sharing his truth, because he wants, it's like, when something has happened to you and you've not been able to say it, and it's something that is eating at you, until you are able to speak it out, sometimes you're not going to get free. His father is still alive. He's not gone yet, thankfully. But this is his truth. This is his experience growing up. And he's saying, you know what? This is what I saw growing up. My father did this. And that's it.
It would be, and again, I take that back, what you have just said, that I will go ahead and look into that. But the way that it is positioned, and I'm just saying for the general public, the way that it has been positioned, if he has written a book, that is a very, very important thing for him to do. I think it's important for him also to heal, whichever avenue he chooses to heal. Okay? That I cannot take away, because, you deal with your life the way that you see best. My thing is, I think at this point also, make your mom stand up out of the shadow of your father.
She's
really
late.
Put her.
How's she going to stand out now? She's late.
No, through the words that you speak and the way that you present her also as and push her iconic status also up, as don't link her so much to Ngugi wa Thiong'o, as much as she's a woman in her own right. This happened, but then these are her accomplishments. This is what it is. So every time that we see her, even in the fact that you're telling us this was a mess of a situation in the household, and definitely. I want to hear you more say, okay, yes, but we rose about this. We did against this. We did this and this. So that at least, when she is immortalized, to us, from a very reliable source like your son, it comes out of the shadow of the father, and out of the shadow of, yes, that is a component of what's happened to her. Nobody's really, that is not up for dispute. But also, listen, this is how she overcame. This is what she accomplished. She has got this and this and this and the other. Often, because let me tell you, the very sad thing about what happens with when we speak about people and when we go out in public, the very last thing you hear is what sticks. So right now, I don't know, like myself, I'm going to go and check out that book that you have just said. But do you see everyone is coming in with a very loud thing and very prominent thing that was discussed? That's the last thing people remember. And I don't want her to disappear.
I still disagree with you on that, because I don't think he said it because he wants, it's not about what people remember. He's speaking his truth. And this is my thing. Whenever you want to talk about, I know you started off by saying, you condemn domestic violence, you don't think it's right, but whenever we talk about abuse, when you say, oh, I condemn it, but you've already got it wrong. There are no buts. Whenever abuse is concerned, there are no buts. Because when you say buts, then whatever you said before does not matter. Because whether you make it sound like it's justification, it is justification. Because you can say, oh, I don't agree, I condemn it, people shouldn't do it, but people shouldn't do it, period. There are no buts.
Oh, definitely. I think you're getting me wrong, but I think that you're getting me wrong on that one. I respectfully disagree. And my whole thing is definitely women empowerment. I'm involved in a lot of organizations like that. I just want a very balanced view of somebody, so that we can also just show, listen, this lady was an accomplished woman. She really did a lot for the situation.
So you're
That's
talking
all I
about,
called in
in
for.
terms of the things she achieved in her
Yes.
life.
Let's
Right.
talk about that also, because I feel like, unfortunately, folks remember the very last thing that was said. And he said it very, very clearly. He says he feels his mother's story has been forgotten. It has not
It's
been
lost.
pronounced enough. It's
Yes.
lost. That is his bone of contention, right? That's the bane of what is really like the most important thing to him right now. Let's not lose that narrative then.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much.
Definitely. I agree with that. I mean, we don't need to have the conversation in the same time. It's an ongoing thing. The mom is obviously late now, and even if she was just a housewife, yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's a
maybe,
big thing. No,
yeah,
that's don't just no the word just on housewife. No, I take no. I'm very very serious, because let me tell you, if you're caring for somebody's home and their children, that's the highest honor that you can get in my book, because that is now growing the next generation, and it's actually stabilizing the home. I think that is. Let me tell you something. We actually, if you were to calculate it, if you were to get a service and actually pay for it, and also do the other, the children as you pay the babysitter, let me tell you, that's our vocation. But for you to do it out of the love and the compassion that you have for the family that you've brought into this world, and you do it to your best of your ability, you're up there in my book, very very prominent in my book. I think it is a very very noble cause. Let's talk about that also. So I feel like that's a good one.
Yeah. What about what he said about the dad?
I think he has got every right to say what he says about his father. I cannot get into a family. I think you have every right to say what you have to do with your father. I think it is very, very important for you to heal. I think it is very, very important and poignant, especially you got to look at this. This is a fully grown man. He must have really contemplated about the consequences of even him saying it, So this is something very, very important. And the way that he has chosen to do it helps him, which we cannot minimize. Yeah, you must give everybody their way to live their life and to voice their opinion and to heal. That's very, very important. You should not minimize him. I'm answering his second question. How the fact that his mother, he feels, has been minimized. Well, let's do this to support her. Let's open a foundation for her. Let's do something that is a women empowerment for her, so that when I look at her,
Not
it's
just seeing a
out of
woman
the
that was
shadow.
abused.
Yes, if we need to immortalize her in some way, let us not look at her just as the wife of the DV wife of this person and that. But no, I would like to see her as the giant that she was.
Okay. Thank you very much, Natasha.
Thank you so much.
All right. I get the point that Natasha is making. Yeah. She's saying that, it's okay for, the fact that the son came out to speak is okay. That's his own way of dealing with his pain. But it's important for him to go a step further to immortalize the woman, so that she's not only remembered as a DV victim, but as a woman who contributed to the father's life. I would have been more, I like what you said in that regard, but I noticed that she was reluctant to speak about what he was really saying about his father. Natasha kept saying, oh, it's a family thing. I don't want to get into it. This is a grown man. And what he's saying, I mean, I'm not saying that you have to make a comment about it, but you were reluctant. You didn't want to address it because to you, he's a national hero, is this icon, you know. But we're hearing staggering things about him. This is what his son is saying, because he might be a hero to you, but to Makuma is his father. It's just like somebody was saying one time that when our queen was alive, Charles, we call him Prince Charles then, he's the king now. He used to be Prince Charles, but Prince Charles, to his mother, the Queen Elizabeth was his mother. It was not a, she wasn't a queen to him. It was mother. So the dynamics of their relationship is different. So it's like I'm getting the feeling that you don't want to engage in that the characteristics of the father, especially with the first and second marriage, even though I've painted a picture where it is clear that this man, he may be an icon to the public, but he's a Mungo Park. He was a Mungo Park, or he is a Mungo Park, he's still alive. And it is very important for us to, really, really talk about that, because as important as it is for us to talk about, her achievement, yes, but you can have both conversations at the same time. And if we don't learn to call out abuse in our community, we keep covering it because we want other things that are more important, other things I want to talk about. We keep covering it. It's not going to end. This is what, for generations they've been doing in Africa. Let's cover it. Don't talk about it. Cover it. Cover it. We can't keep covering it. Well, that is why you have so many broken people in this world. That is why you see, do you see what is going on? Am I the only one that is saying it? So it is what it is. I know some people will not like it. They are going to come for him. Definitely. A lot of Kenyans will come for him. Because people don't like somebody that they hold dear. Maybe this is person they grew up. She think your internet is not good. Can you correct it, please? So let me add you. I'm going to end now. Somebody it's like your favorite, person, someone that you love. It's difficult for you to reconcile. And with DV, there are no buts. There is just nothing like buts. But it's just like sometimes, she think your connection is not good. Can you put your Wi-Fi on, please? When we say somebody is they buy somebody, you will see people say, they will not say, I don't condone what he's done, but I don't condone what he has done, what the person has done, but somebody has been pied. You are looking for bots. It nullifies whatever you have said. That's the way I see it. Anyway, maybe it's just my understanding. Anyway, let's see what Shitinka has to say. Unmute yourself, Shitinka. How are you? Welcome.
Hello, Auntie B. Good evening.
Hi.
Auntie B, thank you for giving it to us back to back. Oh, you've just been you've been on a roll
I have, because I'm going to disappear soon.
Oh, that's true.
I'm going to
So
run
you're
away
topping
soon
us
to
up
America.
before you
I'm
go
coming to
away.
America.
Yeah, you said so. You said so.
Yes.
Oh, Auntie B, do you know, I want to respectfully disagree with the immediate past caller, because
why?
I think the unfortunately, we should not see, she seems to look at the value of a person who suffers domestic violence on the basis of their achievements. She was saying, well, we did not say, the last thing she heard is what the woman suffered, and so she's going to see her only as that. The problem is that we need to look at her as a human being who experienced something that she should not have experienced, because DV affects people on all, people from all levels of society. So whatever her achievements were, those are not the issue right now. Whether she had achievements or she didn't have achievements, the man should not have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second thing is that Mukoma, Professor Mukoma, he actually did say what his mother's achievements were. He said that she held the family down. She held the family together when her father was in prison. 5 children, or is it 6 children?
Six children.
Supporting 6 children and being there for the man while he's in prison and helping him throughout the times, even the times when he wasn't in prison, but the times when he was facing persecution, and she was holding the family together. He did mention that's what she did. And so if we're concerned about her achievements right now, he just in one sentence, he did glorify the work that she did. And like you said, he'd already written a book. But the main thing is we should not be fixated on the achievements of somebody who suffered domestic violence as much as we should be focused on the fact that they suffered what they should not have suffered.
She could have cried because of a broken heart.
She could.
Now we know about broken heart syndrome.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And this made me think about something you did, the show you did last week, Angela and Michael. Michael needs to take out a restraining order against Angela.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular situation, in like it is in Africa, restraining orders barely mean anything. Even in the West, they don't mean a lot, unfortunately. But at least you know that if the person tries to come within any, a certain distance of you, the person can go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
But in Africa, think about how helpless that woman was. Like he said, he still has memories of going to visit his mother in his grandmother's house because his mother was taking refuge there.
Yeah. I think the person that nailed it for me. The person that nailed it for me is that South African author called
Uncle. Yes.
Oh my God!
Baba.
You need to read over and over again what that man. I don't think you guys
understand.
I don't think you understand how deep he's 70 something years old. He's so deep what he wrote about his own personal experience as well, growing up, and how he had come to realize that this is not normal. This is not how you treat somebody that you love, and how he was traumatized by it. So
and but you see the learning curve that author, that South African author embraced. How many of our uncles and fathers are able to actually, in fact, even some of the younger generation, just internalizing the learnings, realizing that, okay, we've been doing this wrong. We need to get this right now. We need to change that. He's had a mental adjustment from what he wrote, from his tweets. We can see he himself had to have a mental adjustment.
Yeah. He said he grew up thinking it was normal, and he did not realize the extent for which he was traumatized.
Yes.
If a man is 70 something years old is saying that means we need to listen. We should pay attention to what he's saying. We are not short of people with achievement. I'm sure even if this woman, Ngugi's first wife, didn't achieve much, she raised 6 children. That's a huge achievement in Africa.
And while the man was in prison. While the man was in prison, holding it down.
Yeah, she lived and in Kenya while the man was in America. When he was in exile in America, she was still in Kenya.
There you go.
I didn't read anywhere there that she went to America to be with him because she died in Kenya.
See that either. I didn't see that either.
So I think the pain that people I don't know, sometimes it's not pain, it's not something you can measure. But you can empathize and you can try to picture what that person has been through. This man is 53 years old. He's coming out to call out his father, who is 86 years old, telling the world, this is who my father was, or this is who he is. Do you think it's easy for him to do this?
It must be so difficult. He's gone against everything he knows, gone against his culture, gone against his own understanding of what is normal, because for him to actually say what he said, he's if you saw at the end of his tweet, he said, there, I said it now. So he held on to it. For him to actually end it like that, it was almost like he knows he's now put his foot in it and the dogs are now going to be unleashed. Whether the dogs of culture or the dogs of the gatekeepers of patriarchy and all of that.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said,
of Africa.
This is on African. I would like somebody to define to me what this African thing means when they say, oh, this is African, this is on Africa. What does that even mean? Maybe we need to have a handbook or manual about it. Someone can explain it to me, what we mean.
Unfortunately, many times when people say that, it's because they feel that no matter how bad things are, you keep it indoors, you keep it under wraps, you don't wash your dirty linen in public. And so we allow dysfunction to fester and grow and move from generation to generation. Unfortunately, there are things that when people say is African is, it's a positive spin, is a positive image, but when they're talking about things like this and they say to talk about things like this is an African, it's because they're saying, you keep it inside, don't bring it outside. But sometimes unless you reveal, you don't heal. We don't know what he's gone through because like he said, his father is a public figure and he can see all his father getting all these accolades and he knows all accolades and he knows all the sweat equity that his mother put into his father being able to have a name. Seeing that must hurt. For him,
Yeah.
every time he sees his father's image being praised in public, it must hurt. It must be doing his inside one kind, like, so that's how this woman will just fade into nothingness.
Yeah. 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 It's not easy at all. It's not easy. It's not easy. You can never, except you've been through it, then you will never understand.
Mm.
You will not understand.
Mm.
You will not understand. That's why,
I have to give the previous caller her chops in the sense that she says, okay, maybe he should do a foundation for her, write a book about her. But I think what he's doing by tweeting this is actually is his own way of beginning to right the wrongs that she experienced. He's trying to redeem her image. He's
I
actually
think,
saying this man's success is owed to my mother's sweat and tears.
yeah, I think the first thing is that he needs to heal first before he can even think of doing anything in his
Of doing
father's
all of that.
life. If you,
True.
without healing, there's little you can do about your past pain.
True. True.
So this is the first step. Even if he's going to do something, which I'm sure is not only him, he's got siblings. There are 6 of them. All 5 of them are educated in America. He's a professor and an author as well. So, I mean, the first thing is he needs to heal. That is the first thing. He needs to be able to express this pain. Even the way he wrote the tweet, maybe it seems like something that is on the spur of the moment. And he now said, okay, I said it.
Said it.
I said it. That kind of a thing that you'll be, maybe it
You've been
seems like
bottling
something
it.
that somebody is wrestling with, like, should I say it? Oh, maybe I shouldn't say
Yes.
it. Oh, what would they okay, that kind of a thing. Then all of a sudden, you know what? I've said it. Okay, there you have
F it. Whatever you do it. Do your work.
And like this South African man said, this Kiss man said, he said they can all go and fry eggs for all I care. Let them go and fry eggs. I've learned a new one today. You can go and fry eggs.
Go and fry eggs.
Go and fry eggs. Wow. Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to say, because I think, in many ways, this tweet, even this show, is giving this woman her rightful place. It is the beginning of, redeeming her image. It's baby steps, but it's the beginning of his healing and the beginning of giving her the chops that she deserves.
Yeah, absolutely. 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 A lot of people will wait until the person will pass away before they will now start talking. I like the fact that, he said this when the father is still alive. And I'm sure by now he would have gotten to him. Oh, let's not forget about the fact that we're also talking about, all the things that we normally say on this show about how Mongo parts always end up at the end of the day.
Yes, so lonely. Sad and lonely.
In this abroad. Sad
it's
and
an
lonely.
object lesson. It's an object lesson. And to be, I was just looking at Instablog this evening, and I saw that somebody tweeted something, and Instablog reported it, that the young man said his cousin beat up his wife, and the mother of the cousin got the police to lock him up Friday. He won't be released until Monday. That's the mother of the child, Gongo.
Oh, that beat
she
up
locked
somebody.
her own child up. Yes, that beat up his wife. She got her own son locked up in Nigeria. She got her own son locked up. And that's the attitude that we should all have towards DV issues. Yeah. We should call our own out. The thing is, unfortunately, a lot of us, that's the un-African thing that we do. We cover our own even when our own are wrong. When our own are wrong, we should make sure they experience consequences.
Yeah. Very few people can do that.
Unfortunately, but that's the step in the right direction. I mean, before he does anything tomorrow, he would think twice.
Yeah.
Or he'll cut his mother off. That's the only thing he'll do.
My goodness. Wow.
I mean, for a mother to get her son locked up is the same thing as this son saying, my father did not do well by my mother. He's willing to, it's like willing to crush a part of yourself so that the whole of yourself can be redeemed.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's too much secrecy around things that, People should not, yeah, the secrecy around abuse in our culture is just, yeah.
Very unhealthy.
It's
Very
very, very
unhealthy.
unhealthy. It doesn't help anybody because it's a culture of silencing. You dare not say anything. If you say something, you know, you want to rubbish the family's name, you want to spot. I'm sure a lot of people will be coming for him now. You know, they'll be coming for him because it's not like he's their idol, right? People are saying, oh, it's like somebody saying something against Wale Soyinka or one of these great authors in you know that we adore growing up, that we read their books and everything. Then you now come and say something against them. How dare you? How dare you? But it is what it is. Thank you so
I think
much.
one of the things we need, sorry to be just before I go, one of the things we need to take note of, as it's not only Africans but people generally, is that all our icons are flawed. There's no human being that does not have some issue or another. So
They are
we need to be
humans.
able to
I
accept
think
that.
if we need to take the starting point is that your icon is a human being.
Yes, we put them on so much of a pedestal that we refuse to be able to accept or acknowledge when they have flaws. But if we treat them, if we are able to accept that they have flaws, we can even treat them with more grace when we do, and then that can lead to some sort of redemption from their bad behaviors. But we can't be treating people as saints and angels. No, all humans are flawed.
Absolutely. Thank you, my darling. I appreciate you for calling.
Have a
Take care of
lovely evening,
yourself.
Auntie
All right.
B.
Speak
You
soon,
too.
darling. Bye. Okay. Yeah. Man of Practice said, is the silent culture is everywhere, worse with us because of our slow learning into things. No, it's not just the slow learning. We are very secretive people by nature. Ola, have you noticed that when people are sick in Nigeria, that they don't usually say they are sick? You just hear the person akpai. Even when the person akpai, they will just say brief illness. It's not slow learning. We are too secretive as a people. That's the truth. Because we care more about what people will say. It's about the image. We're all about image. That's why you will see the adults that will carry our small children. They will hide it within the family so that people will not hear anything. It's all about the image. It's not slow learning. Somebody will be almost crying, very sick. They will not talk. They will hide the person. They will hide the person. They will be hiding it. The other day, our king was diagnosed with cancer. He came out and announced it. I've got cancer. He said it. But if now our side, Chineke, you go you hear the person, you one day go you just say, what you do? And they'll say it's a brief illness. Brief illness. You know the number of people when this thing, when they call brief illness, don't buy. Miss J, welcome, Jare. We have a culture of shame. That's it. It's the shame. That's why. So that they will not shame you. Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Welcome, darling. Hi. Yeah. Mm. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so
I can hear you.
Yes, I wanted to correct the other caller who had said like we cannot look at the works. We cannot talk about the works because maybe they are great works. But the thing is, Ngugi was not writing about animals or rivers or things like that. He was writing about experiences. And there's one of his books where he has written, it's called The River Between. He's championing against FGM. But this man who championed against FGM made his wife undergo FGM. So we cannot say we are not going
Hold on. Miss J, you are going too fast for me. Oh. Let me catch that. First of all, you need to teach me. Finally, I've got somebody to teach me how to pronounce the name. How do you pronounce the name? Ngugi?
Ngugi.
Ngugi. Uh-huh.
No,
Ngugi.
Ngugi. Yeah, like that.
Ngugi. Thank you.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Now, who was championing against FGN again?
Him. He has written a whole book about not against girls undergoing FGM.
Right. And he made his wife do it?
Yes, he said he cannot marry somebody who has not undergone FGM because like that's how you get like a pure woman or those things.
So she did it as a grown woman.
Yes. You are still young, but it's maybe between 16 to 20 there.
He said that's when you get pure what? Pure. I didn't get that. Sorry, love.
So like during that time, it's a culture where everybody is saying that don't marry a woman who has not undergone FGM because the the woman who has not undergone FGM, they are like prostitute, and like these, the ones who have undergone FGM, when you marry them, they will not go outside the marriage. They'll not go and get an.
Yeah, they say that in Nigeria as well. Yeah, I get that.
Yes,
So he
and
made
then
his wife, this man that wrote a book about it, made his
and
wife go
in
through
the
it.
book, in the book, he's saying, no, a girl should not undergo FGM. And in the book, the woman who underwent FGM, and remember, he's saying it's fiction. The woman who underwent the FGM, the woman died. So it was showing that don't do it. As young girls, follow education, because the girl dropped out of school to go and
So
get
his life was just full of contradictions.
Yes. Even right now, we need to investigate all his works. We need to know his contribution towards colonization, because he's writing about colonization. So we need to know that. We cannot say that his books are so big or what. No, we cannot analyze it. You know.
Wow.
It's like he was living a double life. Why would you write such a book and then you make your wife do that?
My goodness. You see, can you just see this? My goodness. Wow. I didn't even know that you practice FGM in Kenya. I wasn't aware. Somebody said in the comment section that Kikuyu people practice it in Kenya. Is that your culture?
No, I don't come from that culture, because we do not interact with the Arabs. But anybody who has interacted with the Arabs, they got that culture.
I see.
Yes.
And how did you find out about this thing that he did it on his wife? Was it disclosed by the wife or somebody, or was just hearsay?
The article that this man posted on Twitter, when you read the article, yes, it says it in the article, but it's not clear, so you cannot read it right now. But when it was published during that time, yes. And
because
the book,
people were
I read
retweeting it.
because
People were adding to it, comments upon comments upon comments upon. My goodness. This is deep, man. So it's a case of do what I say, not what I do, right?
Yes.
It's such a shame, though. But you know what? Like the previous caller said, some of these icons or whatever they are humans, they are flawed. And most of them hide their flaws very well. Someone like Nelson Mandela, if somebody had told me in my dream that Nelson Mandela can put his hand on a woman, I would say it's a lie. But he did. He did. Somebody who grew up and saw it, said it. Just trying. It's not like they're trying to spoil his legacy. It's like it's what they saw, what they witnessed. So saying it out, it takes a lot of bravery. To be honest, these people, they deserve an award for being able to call big people like this out. People that are known worldwide. People respect them all across Africa. They are like giants of Africa. And you are saying this man is a Mongo Pack.
True.
Wow. Well, so what do you think about what the son had said about Ngugi?
I think the son is right, and the son has he can express the way he's feeling, even though, like, people are saying, like, why did you wait so long? Why did you wait till you're 53? But I think any age you can express what's in your heart.
That's the wrong question. Why do people keep asking the wrong question? Why did you wait so long? It doesn't matter. There's no time limit for it. This is when he feels ready, that he's confident to say it. Don't ask people, why did you wait? No, oh God, we have a long way to go in that continent. Go ahead, my dear.
Yeah, so like a lot of people not only see Ngugi as an author, but as a women's rights activist.
Women's rights activist.
Yes, because
that's for women. And he's beating his wife at home, like Bami, Aladubo. Jesus.
A lot of people are saying you are the reason why FGM has slowed down with your books and everything. But then we get to know that your wife underwent the same situation that you are preaching against.
Well, at least people stopped it. If the book influenced a lot of people from stopping it and doing it to their children, has it been made illegal in Kenya, FGM?
So his works has really actually helped his community. His community nowadays, people shun FGM, the female one, FGM. Like you will not find people doing it, but it's in
Mm,
other cultures. But
mm,
his own culture, it has really dropped.
mm-hmm,
Mm.
mm-hmm, mm. Okay. So what they need to really make sure that this thing goes out completely is legislation to make it illegal for that to be carried out by anybody, whether in the villages, in the farms, in the city, in the hospitals, anywhere. If you do it, you'll be put in jail. You know, people don't really understand what that FGM really is. It's another way of disempowering women.
Mm-hmm.
It's another way of controlling women to say, how dare you enjoy sex? You're not supposed to be enjoying it. You're just supposed to have children and stay with your husband and be a good wife. So the pleasure that comes from it, it is the part of the body that will give that pleasure. They will remove it. My goodness. When Oyibo don't even do it for their men. We do men do enter women. Marshall. Thank you, Miss J. Thank you very much for calling in and teaching me how to call Ngugi. At least I can call it very well now. My days. Wow. What a revelation. Shocking indeed. Yeah. It is so sad that, some people who you think that they are the ones that bring lights into the darkness in the continent, they themselves were not. They were not pure. Their light was not pure light. It was amber. But they are human. Like, I want to look at it that way. It doesn't mean that he won't still be celebrated. But I think it is important. For the son, it was very, very important for him to speak his truth, not bury it, because it's the one that is suffering. So nobody can say, why are you talking? Why are you saying this about your father? You don't know what he went through. You don't know what he saw. You don't know his experience growing up. You don't know how the thing affected him as an adult in his own relationships now. So nobody should don't shut anybody up. Unfortunately, their mothers didn't know better, and there are still women that are watching this show now, and they will tell you they are staying because of their children, and the children are watching them being beaten every day. And then tomorrow, those children are damaged and they want to talk. They say, "Why are you talking? You want to spoil the name of your family. You want to spoil their legacy." There's a lot of healing that is needed in our community. May God help us. So give us a thumbs up, guys. I'm just going to end by saying that whenever you want to talk about DV, right? In case you don't know, just condemn it. Come out with your full chest and condemn it. There is no justification for DV. No justification. But tell this woman not to have sharp mouth. If she has sharp mouth, she's being verbally abusive towards you, or she's not respectful, divorce her. Send her away. There's no buts. Once you say buts, it negates everything that you said before. In case you didn't know, but I know a lot of you already know that, because I feel like when I read the comments in the comment section, always like, although, but, I'm not a supporter of domestic violence, but, you shouldn't buy or somebody, but, you shouldn't do, but, there are no buts. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you. Please give us a thumbs up. Yeah, I hope it's not you that your children will be talking about like this some years ahead. Listen to that young blood, though, the one that is talking on social media. He had a point there where he was saying, Bukumi, he had so much sense. If you've not seen that video, it's on my page on Instagram. Go and view it and listen to it. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here tonight. I'm going to talk about Wendy Williams tomorrow, but I'm doing it a bit earlier on in the day, not this usual time, because it's Saturday. So I want to do it quick so that I can get on to do other things. We're talking about Wendy Williams tomorrow. Apparently they said that her ex-husband, what's his name? Is it Kevin or Kevin? I don't know. His name is Kelvin, right? He's dragging her to court, her guardianship to court for 2 years unpaid spousal support. You owe me. You got to pay me. So we're going to talk about it tomorrow afternoon. So that will be morning in your side in the US, and that will be afternoon on my side. Please say no to any form of abuse. It is not always good. If you don't know better, please learn. Learn to walk. Take a walk. Learn to master, control your emotions. If you live in the abroad and you are doing that, no time they will not call Olokpa on you. Then you will now go on social media and be making videos like those failed uncles that Bukumi was talking about. You don't bring your wife abroad. Don't bring your wife abroad. There is no justification for DV. Please, let's try to maintain healthy relationship and marriages. And if you know work, everybody should go their own way. It is better for all involved. Better for the man, better for the woman, it's better for the child. If you tried everything you can, you've done the work, put in the work to make sure that you reconcile differences. You cannot manage the conflict, is too much. You feel like you're going out of your hair, your mind. At least separate until you can heal. It is better. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you. Have a good afternoon, have a good evening, and I shall see you tomorrow bright and early in the afternoon to talk, or morning on your side. So keep your subscription and your bell on. Keep your bell on so that it will make green, green, green when I come on live. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow. Ngugi, Uncle Ngugi. I pray that you will repent and just know that what you did was wrong. It was not right. I'm sure you are not a bad person, but that is what you know. But hopefully your children will not follow suit. Now, you are in your old age now at 86. You are living alone. You are sick. No wife to look after you. You see? Oh my show. It is well, May God help and heal all broken hearts. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Yeah. Goodbye.